All right, my name is James Wingo, and I run a program called Positive Changes. So today I'm going to be speaking about your students getting ready to go on this trip to Atlanta. All right, and you are going to be flying. So how many of you out there have never flown on an airplane before? We got 2, 3, and a little one over there, 4, 5. All right, so I'm first going to talk about the airport. All right, so I don't want anybody to have a culture shock and go through a lot of emotions that's really not necessary. All right, so fortunately, how many days do you all stay? 5 days? 5 to 6, 7 days, right? 1 week. So, the airplane that you're going on, you're allowed 50 pounds. All right? If you go over 50 pounds, you're going to have to pay. Just tell me point blank. All right? They may let you go to 55 or 52, but 50 is the maximum. So 50 pounds would fit in a bag, a suitcase like this. I have 2, I was just prepared. So this is really big enough for 50 pounds. All right? It's easy, it has wheels, it has, the handle at the top, and you can whirl, and you can move real easily, as opposed to trying to drag something like this. All right? So 50 pounds. Usually, females take more things. All right? So this bag would probably do. For the guys, depending upon how big your feet are, because you all have big shoes, you can get a size bag like this. That's enough for a 5 to 6 day travel. All right? And I'm going to open it up in a minute and show you. So 50 pounds, 40-ish or so. Big feet, or a lot of clothes. And I'm just being real on that. All right? So the hardest thing for men is our shoes. We have big shoes. We have thick underwear. Well, now it's changing a little bit for men, but most men have the cotton underwear. That's all bulky. Our t-shirts are bulky. Females, you have thinner and smaller clothing items so you can pack more. All right? Pay attention to your itinerary. I'm sure he's going to give you one before you go, and that will tell you what you're going to do each day. So you definitely need comfortable shoes to walk in, a nice pair of shoes to get dressed up in, and then an everyday pair of shoes. No more than 3 pairs of shoes for 5 days. It's not a fashion show, and you will go over the 50 pounds. But you can make those decisions. Now, according to what can go into your bag, it keeps changing because of COVID and then 9/11. It just changed everything, all right? So the easiest thing for you to do is to go on the website, which is TSA. And I forgot what the T is. Transportation something administration. And that's federal. Safety? Okay. Transportation Safety Administration, TSA. They are the people that you're going to meet at the gate after you get your ticket. They are like the security guards, but they're federal. All right? Any problems with them, if they tell you something, you start an argument, you may not get on the plane. Point blank. Because you can't call your mother, you can't call Mr. Ivory. They're just going to say, young man, young woman, come over here. All right? So if they tell you something that you have on, they need to see it, you need to take it off. Such as maybe skull caps, with head wraps. different kind of hats. They want to make sure you're not sneaking anything onto the plane. They're not doing it because they're trying to be mean, supposedly, but it's for their safety, and it's for the passenger safety. So if TSA asks you to do something, just do it. Because if you argue, it's not me, I'm going to take this, it's not going to happen. They're not going to let you bring food and water. So you need to eat it and drink it before you get through that gate. All right? So there is a lobby in front of the gate before you get on the plane, but they're not going to let you take it through the checkpoint. You'll buy the food after you get past the checkpoint. All right? So before the checkpoint, if you have something, they're going to say, drop it over here. They don't care how much is in there, or you just get one part of your sandwich. You got to throw it in there. All right? You're going to walk through a metal detector. And when you walk through, you have to hold your hands like this. All right? And there's a machine that will go around you that's going to take an x-ray to make sure you're not carrying any weapons or anything. Since you don't have pre-check, you're going to have to take off your shoes. You're going to have to take off your belt. Any kind of jewelry, watches, a wallet, money is going to go into a little tray, and that tray is going to go through the x-ray machine to make sure everything is okay. Again, if you argue, say you're not going to do it, they might say, come with me. All right? So therefore, don't wear too much on the plane. You don't have to take off too much. All right? If you know you have to take off your shoes, don't wear those socks with holes in them. And be embarrassed. Wear some clean socks, because they are going to ask you to take off your shoes and your belt. For you guys that have pants that sag, you better wear some pants that fit. All right? Because you take your belt off, or you're not wearing belts, and you raise your hands, and your pants drop, everybody's going to have some fun. All of you. All right? So that's getting through the checkpoint. And that's what they're doing. They're checking everything that you have. All right? So, again, I have the 50-pound luggage, up to 50, and then I have one just good for 5 to 7 days. You really don't need that much. It's not going to be a fashion show. You're going to fly into Atlanta, and then you're going to be on buses going from destination to destination. So you want something comfortable on. Either sweats or some baggy kind of jeans. If you start wearing a lot of tight stuff, you are going to be uncomfortable trying to be cute. All right? And I'm just letting you know. You can be cute, but on the bus and traveling, you want to be comfortable. The same thing as on the plane. You want to be comfortable. They will allow you one bag to be checked and one carry-on personal bag. All right, so for the guys, you may have a book bag, backpack. They'll let you bring this on. For the ladies, you may have a large tote bag purse, or one of those zipper satchel bags. All right. They will either go overhead in the luggage, or they will go on the floor under the seat in front of you. Don't tell them that this is a Prada bag and I'm not putting it on the floor. Again, you will be asked to leave if you start an argument. So therefore, don't bring a carry-on bag that's very expensive, because you may have to put it on the floor. And that's for everybody. They tell everybody, once that overhead luggage bin is full, everything else goes on the floor. All right? If you're bringing a laptop or iPads, that needs to be separate unless you pack it. All right, you can pack it. I generally don't, because if they lose my luggage, then I don't have my laptop or my iPad to work on. So I carry that with me. So if you carry it with you, when you're in the security line, you have to take that laptop or electronic out and put it in a separate bin, and then you put all your other valuables in another bin. All right, so they're not going to tell you that, and you're going to be bumping around. So to keep the line moving and keep you from, being asked to step out of the line, those are some of the things you have to do. All right? Any electronics, they go out separately. I would personally take them with you because, like I said, there could be a problem with luggage, and they'll tell you, well, your luggage is not coming in until tomorrow. All right, so now you have a problem. Okay, so electronics, try to put that in carry-ons. All right, when you get in a line for security, you have to take it out and put it in another little gray bin that they have. Any questions so far? And there is no silly question. It's best to ask now than try to ask that question while you're in line. All right? So we're going to move forward. All right. I'm just going to show you a few tips in packing.
Question, by show of hand, who's flown before?
Yeah, it's like 50-50. Yeah, I asked the ones who haven't flown. All right, so I packed some of my clothes in here, all right? And I could deal with the 7-day trip with less than 50 pounds. So I folded t-shirts. You fold them, you just don't throw them in there. Because if you just throw them in there, you won't be able to zip up your luggage. So I got 7 t-shirts. I have 4 pair of pants, 3 pair of pants, but I rolled them up. All right, denim jeans, you can wear denim jeans as long as you don't spill any ketchup and all that on it. You can wear denim jeans for 2 weeks. You know, that's why they were made this way. They weren't made to be washing them every other day because it loses its texture. Have you seen those jeans that start to sag in the back? That's because you're washing them too much. You know, jeans are supposed to fit tight like a glove. So, therefore, I don't mean tight, you know, fit in, you know. So, I got 1, 2, 3 pair of pants. So, I can really have 2 pair of jeans and 1 pair of dress slacks. And understand that most of you guys wear khakis or something, right? Right, so you're going to have to wear that out at whatever special event he asks you to go to. All right, I wouldn't wear that every day. If he says we have a special event we're going to, try to say that. Look at your itinerary. I also have a toiletry bag. All right, if you don't have a toiletry bag, Ziploc bags work. But eventually, guys and females, you're going to have to get a toiletry bag and a cosmetic bag. Because I don't think you want to mix everything together. Again, I have a pair of sneakers in here. My socks and my underwear are in here. I'm not going to pull that out. Trust me. So I was able to get 5 pair of underwear and 4 pair of socks in here. Because I wear the ankles. So I roll them up and stuff them in there, and it helps save on space. All right, the other side. I'm prepared in case it's a little chilly, and I have a hoodie. Then I also have a jacket that will be the same as your blazer. All right, so then I have some slides that I want to wear around in the swimming pools, the bathroom, and the hotel. I'm not walking barefoot. All right, and you don't want to keep walking in your socks and all of that. So, when packing, do your countdown. Count the days, look at your itinerary and what you can wear. All right? If you really want to dress up, I would say dress up in tops, not necessarily bottoms. Because you can wear the bottoms more, you know? Females, I can't tell you too much. You have to ask your mothers and grandmothers, and they give you some tips on that end. All right? Any questions so far? None? Oh, it's a good group. All right. I'm going to have a quiz at the end. So this is what a cosmetic bag looks like. And this is like a toiletry bag. All right? Toothbrush, deodorant, facial creams, lotion. Y'all gonna laugh at this one. Mascara, lipstick, blush, powder, kind of stuff. Okay, good. So that's what females will generally wear or carry. Guys, just all the type of toiletry bag. All right? And that will all fit in here. So now if I wanted more outfits, I could take the 50-pound. All right? If I wanted to dress up more. Still no questions, right? All right, so we talked about the airport, and I talked about packing. Last chance. Any questions? Or any concerns you may have? Maybe you don't have luggage per se? Or where to buy it? Yes.
Say you might want to get it early. What would you do?
Oh, right. Okay, so getting to the airport. If Mr. Audrey says the plane leaves at 6 o'clock, you have to be there an hour and a half minimum before. Usually they say from the gate, but it takes a while to get to the gate. They say be here 45 minutes before the plane leaves. They mean if you're at the gate. All right, so getting through security, it could be a long line for your airline that the gate is at. All right, so if the plane is leaving at 6, I would try to at least be there about 5:15. No. I would try to be there around 4:45, the latest. The earlier you get there, the more relaxed you are. Try not to get there with 5 minutes to spare, because what can go wrong will go wrong. All right? There's nothing wrong with getting there a little early, taking your time, going through the line, checking your bag, and then sit and wait and watch the other kids come through running with their panic. Did you leave? Did you leave? So thank you for that. That was a good tip. All right. So now I'm going to move on to the table set.
Excellent, excellent. So, if you get, especially students, if you could somehow bring your attention back to the center table, I'm going to hand it back over to my fraternity brother, Brother Wingo, who's going to continue the etiquette portion of the evening as we get prepared for what we can expect when we go to Atlanta and to Alabama and the fine restaurants that we're going to be attending. So just get your attention, continue eating, but pay close attention to the delivery from Mr. Wingo. Families, other students and children, if you're ready to go, all you do is go to the counter, give them your size, and enjoy. And then students, once you've done with this portion, you're welcome to join your families and bowl and board games and enjoy our evening. All right, Brother Wingo.
All right, thank you. All right, we had a few guys that came in late. All right, so we talked about the airport and we talked about travel bags. Have you guys traveled on an airplane before? All three of them? Not everybody. The guys that's going on the trip, how many of you have flown on an airplane before? You haven't? You haven't? Okay. All three said they haven't. All right. So, just quickly to go over it, because I'm not going to take a lot of time, but you have to pay attention to TSA. They look like security, but they work for the government. If they ask you to do something, you have to do it. You can't say, this is my best hat, I'm not taking it off. You can't say, this is my father's Rolex, and he told me never to take it off. If they ask you to do something, you have to do it, or else they will escort you out. All right? So that's in the check-in. And parents aren't in that line. You'll be on your own. They may ask you to remove your hat to make sure that there's nothing up under your cap. All right? Skull caps, the do-rags. They're going to ask you. Going through the, okay, come on. the word I'm missing. No, the scanner. You have to remove your belt, any keys in your pocket, any money in your pocket, or wallet, and it goes into a tray that they scan to make sure everything is okay. If not, you're gonna have to keep going back. And the second time, then they're gonna put a wand on you to see what you have and take you to another spot. So I'm just giving everybody tips because that's your first time and you may not be expecting it. There is a line for pre-check, but that means you've already paid for something in advance. So more than likely, this is your first time, so no one is pre-checked at this moment. And packing your bags, you're going to be allowed to take 50 pounds in your suitcase, all right? This is like a 25, 30 pound, up to 40. And I have a larger one over here that can hold 50, all right? There's certain things that you can't pack, and I can't go over the whole list. But there was a young lady that said you forgot something. Tatiana? Let me do that. Talia, can you tell me?
So, you can't bring like certain size items and liquids, like if your lotion bottle, it has to be travel size. Or like, you can bring like a full size deodorant, but like anything solid, like a soap, you can bring full size, but anything liquid, it has to be travel size.
Right. They have to be travel size. And you can buy little bottles like in CVS. They're like $1.50, $1.99, and you can pour whatever it is you're taking.
Unless you buy it inside the airport.
Right, which will be $5 or $10. You know? So go to CVS and buy the little, but if you have any liquids. If it is a liquid, it has to go into the check-in bag. All right, they're not going to let you carry liquids on the plane. All right, it has to go in your check-in bag. All right, so, yes. Are you able to bring on clips, like for your hair? Cups? Why would you need a cup? Oh, the thermos jugs. Good question. Because they go back and forth with those, she's talking about like the water bottles, right? Correct, carry, right. When you go through, they don't allow you to bring food and liquids. Right? And even though that's a travel, I would suggest no. Because they're going to take it. Right.
You cannot bring anything to drink coming through checkpoint, okay? Or food, because they will have you throw it away. But once you get inside the airport, you are able to purchase your drinks, your food, your good. And you can't take it on the plane, okay?
Right. So you may want to bring the water bottle empty, and then when you go through checkpoint, buy a bottle of water to pour into it. Because you can drink it on the plane and you can drink it when you're departing. But going through security, they don't want food and liquids and drinks going through. All right. Any questions about travel, packing? I said 50 pounds. Look at the itinerary, and that's how you decide on what you're taking with you. You look at the itinerary. You can't take your whole wardrobe, or else they will say your luggage is over 50 pounds. We'll have to charge you $150. And that's what the going rate is, either $100 or $150 for an over-pound bag. Or you can take items out and try to give them to somebody. So that becomes a problem. I have a scale at home. So I weigh myself on the scale, and then I weigh myself with the pack bag. Then I deduct my weight from that total weight, and that tells me how much the bag is. Because sometimes you can't see it when you put the luggage on a scale. So if you have a whole scale at home, that's a good way to tell, all right? And as far as what you are carrying. They will let you go a little over, but once you go over 5 pounds, they're gonna say you gotta take something out. And that means you may have to put it in the bag that you're carrying, you know? And you can do that, take out a heavy sweater and put that in your bag that you're carrying. All right, any more questions about travel? Oh, we got another one.
You also might want to consider buying earplugs, because some people's ears do pop on planes.
Or chewing gum. Chewing gum or earplugs. All right, and if you're traveling long distance, sometimes I get one of these pillows. Yeah, it's not long, but you know, some people, I don't know what time your flight is. Anyone knows what time? 3 a.m.? Okay, it's at 7. So if it's 7 o'clock, you guys should be at the airport around 5:30. So to get there by 5:30, you have to leave your house about 5. So leave at 5, you're gonna have to get up around 4. And I'm just doing a minimum. All right? If you're not there, they will not wait on you. They do not move Mr. Ivory that well. All right? So that's going to be a lesson. So that means the night before, you need to go to bed early. Because you will have to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock just to get ready. And don't try to pack at 5 o'clock in the morning or 3:30. Don't try to do that. What day you leave? Sunday? Sunday, I would start looking at your wardrobe Friday, tomorrow. Start looking at what you have, because you may have, well, but Friday. By Friday, you should start looking at what you're wearing. And if you have to wash, you go ahead and wash. Don't wait for mom to come home. Everybody's here old enough to wash their own clothes. I hope I'm not getting in trouble right here, but I just see mothers go like, no. So start looking at your outfits now, knowing what you're going to buy. Get your hair cut Wednesday, Thursday night. Don't try to get it Saturday. You know, you're going to be it. I'm telling you, what can go wrong will go wrong. And this is about early planning. She was trying. Oh, her hand was up for a long time. Okay. All right, I'm coming over.
Of course, like, I ran to live, right? I ran to live. Okay, so like, you know, when you got the big old perfume bottles, if you put it in your suitcase, right, on the seat, it's perfectly fine. 'Cause I do it every month. So do that, and they should take you. But make sure it's full. If it's on your person, they will take it away. I was bad with 2 months ago. So make sure it's in your bag.
Right, liquids inside your check bag. Liquids inside your check bag. Okay, so now everybody's in Atlanta, you're having a good time, you made your room assignments, and you're going to about 3 colleges? 4 colleges. And you're staying in what, 3 hotels?
2 different hotels.
2 hotels. You're going to have to try to keep up with your stuff, all right? You may not want to unpack and then pack again. Unpack and then pack again. All right? The stuff will be just all over the place. So you're going to learn how to manage your property and your items. I mentioned about looking at the itinerary. Okay, if he says you're going to dinner, I hope you haven't worn your best clothes the first day, because he's expecting you to go to dinner looking halfway nice. So you're going to have to leave that outfit alone. All right? Traveling on the bus, going from one college to another college, make sure you have something comfortable to wear. Comfortable shoes. All right? So I've gone over that. Now, at dinner, I hope he will separate the stools so that at each table it should be one person per school, which will force you to have conversation. And you can be quiet for a day, but that's not going to last. Eventually, you're going to have to say something. You're going to have to say hello. You're going to have to be kind. You're going to have to show your manners. Mr. Ivory will tell you what the etiquette is as far as what his rules are, what he expects when you go downstairs. Lining up, quiet voices. 40 kids, that's a lot of noise. That's a lot of noise, especially when everybody's happy, excited. What they saw, where are we going? Look who's over there. There's my friend. You're going to have to learn how to calm it down, just so that you can hear instructions. You're going as a large group. We don't want anyone to get lost, get hurt, or get left behind. So it's about paying attention. So eating together as a family, try doing it with people you don't know to practice your social skills. That's what etiquette, that's what manners is all about. Getting to know people, understanding people, enjoying community, and enjoying togetherness. And sharing stories. What you learned at one college, what you saw certain math department, and sharing that kind of information. That will be good for the other students that's there. This is the first step in learning those social skills, because when you go away to college, more than likely you're going to be by yourself. So how are you going to make friends? This is a learning process to test it out, to see what works. Can I trust this person? Can I talk to this person? Can this person share me some information? All right? So I did a formal setting up here. In front of you, on those diagrams, it says informal and formal. More than likely, you're going to an informal restaurant. Just more than likely. All right? So I had it set up as if this was a wedding, or it could be a sports banquet, or it could be some type of gala affair where people are wearing formals. All right? It will be up to 3 quarters. And as you see now, well, up here, I have 3 sizes, but on the sheet, there's 2. So these little things right here are called tines. 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 If you see 3 tines on the fork, you know that's probably 4 hors d'oeuvres. Okay. So 3 tines is usually for hors d'oeuvres, like small pasta, olives, shrimp, or they may have a piece of fish, and you would use this fork. The middle-sized fork is for salad, and that shows you on the diagram. The larger fork is for your entree, the main meal. Usually you only get 1 knife. If you're cutting your food, you don't have to act like you're getting ready to start treat. All right? All you have to do is just put the pressure down. And you need to practice this. All right? Just putting the pressure down to cut your food. All right, now I got to put the mic down. You notice the forks are on the left and the knife is on your right. All right? Continental style, this is the way those areas eat. Continental is the Caribbean, Europe, etc. They pick up the flatware like this, and that's how they eat. They cut, they put food on the fork, they eat it, they go back and cut again. American style, we pick up and start transferring flatware. We cut, we put the knife down, we switch hands, we get some food, we eat it, we switch hands, we pick up the knife, and we go back again. That's a lot of noise that's over here. And if you notice, you go to a restaurant, you hear the whole time. Like, what is going on? Because they're all switching. I want you all to try continental. Fork in the left hand, knife in the right. You put your index finger on the back of the fork to hold your food. Index finger. Next to your thumb. On the back of the fork, and then you're going to cut like this. You're not sawing. And definitely you're not doing this. Stabbing and then cutting. All right? I want you to try it. It doesn't mean that you don't have manners. All right? As I said before, manners is how you treat people, how you warm them, how you give them. So even if it's a plastic plate and a plastic fork, you still can have manners. It's not about the pinky. You know, people do like this. Oh, they got such good manners. No, that's not it. All right? But I want you guys to try eating continental style. Fork in the left, knife in the right. No matter what you're eating. You cut a piece, you put the food on the time, you eat it, you go back and cut it again. And what you find out is your hands aren't as dirty. Because doing all that switching, you're going to end up touching sauce in the whole bit. All right? So try continental. What side? What's this called? Continental. Not American. We do enough American over here. So go out of town, and everybody be looking at us and saying, where they from? You know? You said what?
Please, I don't understand.
Okay, I don't understand. No, don't bring that. All right? If you see another a knife on the plate with a lot of ridges, that's usually for steak only. And they're only going to bring this out if you have steak. All right? So informal, you're just going to have like 3 pieces. A spoon, a knife, and a fork. That should be at a restaurant. All right? If you end up saying that you have napkins, you're at a fancy restaurant. If it's rolled up in paper, you're at an informal restaurant. Not to say that the food won't be good, but I'm just telling you what to expect. All right? If there's napkins, guys, we put napkins over 1 leg. Because if you try to put it over 2 legs, it's going to fall. It's because most guys sit with their legs open. Most women, they're going to sit like this. Most. And they can put a napkin across their lap, and it will stay. The only time you will put a napkin like this is if you're eating something with heavy sauce or olive oil, and it's going to splash. All right? I generally don't put it up here, but if I have on a nice tie, I'm covering up my tie. Because once a tie gets soiled and stained, it's done. When you clean it, it's flat and shiny. It messes up the tie. All right, so that's just the tip of it. So guys, you see a napkin on the plate when you're coming to eat, you take it off and you put it right on your lap. If you have a 5-star restaurant, the waiter will come around and put the napkin across your lap for you. For what? Then you know you really at a high standard restaurant. Okay? So that's the napkins. Which way do we pass food when we're at the table?
Right.
She was right. She wasn't comfortable. She said right. And she did. That's it. Okay, we pass it to the right. Now, how that came about is because the United States is a right-handed country. They force babies to do things right-handed. We drive to the right, we walk to the right. So at the table, we pass to the right. The reason for that is that if there's multiple items on the table to eat, you don't want food going like this. Across, this way, back, there's going to be an accident. So if it's going to the right, everyone can get a chance at the food. All right? Even if it's the bread. If it's bread, you pass it to the right. All right? They're thinking that's your strongest hand, and that's why. And the person over here is grabbing it, getting their bread, and they're passing it around. All right? Some of this is common sense, but I say go over it. You have to learn to start saying please, may you, and can I have. All right? Not just giving and then reaching across the table. You can have accidents on the table, and you really don't want that kind of attention. If there's salt and pepper, how do you think you pass the salt and pepper? What if I said, can you pass me the salt, please? All right? How should I receive the salt?
This,
Sam, come on, the way you want to say something. Go ahead. Just so
Pass to the next person available.
to the next person
They will
available.
give it to you if they're not the closest. I don't. Wait. Hold on. All right, so. All right, this is the person right. I'm gonna give it.
Hold it back so we can feedback.
Um,
So pass me the salt. So how would you pass me the salt? Go ahead, pass me the salt. He just lost the main prize. No, when someone asks for the salt, you pass both of them. Because if not, one of them will get lost on the table. All right? And you're going to pass to the right. So if someone says, can you pass me the pepper? You take both of them and you pass it, but you set it down. Now, what do you think the reason is for setting it down to the next person? Oh, I heard you. No, someone said they may drop it. Oh, that you're right. Come on, confidence. No, you pass both of them. Because if you pass one, the salt will be over here, the pepper will be over here, and someone says, well, where's the pepper? Then it keeps going around again. So you also set it down to the next person and let them pass it. Because if you try to reach over, you can accidentally drop it in their food. All right? So that's why we pass both, and we pass it to the next person, and then that person passes it. That's just to keep everything safe and simple. All right? Yes.
Now, would that apply to any other comments on the table? It's how we can make.
No, you still pass it to the right, and you're passing it to the next person, not the person across the table. Yeah, well, I don't think there's, what could be two items at once? Usually it's just salt and pepper is just two. Everything else, salad dressing is one, unless it's a double bowl, but that's together. All right? Yeah, everything is going to be one. A basket of rolls. Right. So we pass to the right, and if it's anything in containers, you set it down. And then let that person pass it to the next person. Okay? You see the break. Any questions that's on here? Rather than going through it. And it's a guide. You may go to a restaurant, and they might have everything flipped. All right? But that's that restaurant. But as long as you have some kind of basic rules at the table, someone needs to say something. Especially if you're at a long table that has 10, 15 people, you know, everything can't be going like up and down, you know. It needs to go around so that there's no confusion, nobody's dropping food, etc., etc. All right, I mentioned the conversation at the table. Try to focus on why you are there. All right? So you're there to learn about 4 different colleges. You're there to learn and meet other people. That's the conversation you need to be having at the table. Not gross jokes, you know, not exclusively talking about you and what your partner did, you know, last week, and, you know, you're trying to get to know the people that's at the table. This is going to help you when you start going to events by yourself, all right? Hopefully you'll be interviewed by someone from a business, corporate America, the coach of the basketball team. They're not taking you to dinner to feed you. Trust me. They're taking you to dinner or lunch to see who you are, how you act, and are you sociable, and what kind of conversation you have. You know, are you always talking about women and saying particular things? They're going to say, I don't know about that. we may have a problem with him, you know? So you want to be asking the coach, so what positions are open this year? You know, when I come on campus, that's a question. Do I have a chance to start? Did your seniors get, drafted to the G League? You know, you want to ask questions about what's going to benefit you if you go with that school. Same as corporations. You just don't go blindly into an interview. You want to know about that company as much as he wants to know about you. When will I get a promotion? You know, am I able to work on top projects? Is there any travel involved? I noticed that your stocks went down 3.5. You know, is there a way that you're going to be bringing them back? You want to show that you've been investigating and researching that company, that school, and the like. Any questions so far? You all are ready to go. Okay.